Hi, everybody. Dave Sullivan here for the MMLA Membership Committee with
Bill Cosgrove, CEO of Union Home Mortgage Company and Chairman-elect of the Mortgage Bankers Association.
Great. Bill, how long have you been in the industry?
28 years as of June 1st.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah.
What has changed the most over that time? I mean, when you first got in the industry, what was that process like for people who were applying for a mortgage?
Well, it was we all know if we were in the business in the mid-'80s, it was a much simpler time. I think it was an easier time to be able to do good business and take care of customers who wanted to buy homes or refinance homes. Maybe a little more relaxed, more of an intimate process.
Sure.
Unlike today, more challenging.
I think that the banker really knew the individual and probably had some sort of personal relationship with him back then.
Back then, I still think that happens, but not maybe to the extent that it was able to happen 25, 30 years ago.
Yeah. So today we have very good rates. We've got plenty of inventory. I mean, inventory, a little more inventory than before. What do you think is holding back the first-time home buyer or the move-up buyer right now?
Well, I think the first-time home buyer is challenged by a couple things. I think the first thing is job, right? It seems as the economy is picking up jobs, but it's a part-time jobs or full-time jobs, and no one is going to buy a home on part-time work.
Right.
So we got to make sure that as the economy recovers, it's full-time work. I think there's that. There's some wage pressure on the younger people today. I think the median wage isn't what it was 20 years ago. And then I think the other thing is student debt. The cost of higher education is skyrocketing, and as a country, we need to figure that out. All those things, along with QM, other tightening credit boxes, putting pressure on first-time home ownership, and we've got to figure that out.
Yeah, I think that, you said student loan debt. I mean, it's over $1 trillion now. And when you look at a credit report, I mean, the student loan debt is usually 5 to 10 accounts for one, degree. And I think that people really don't know how to handle that and recover from it. So it's really tripping them up on the first step on their credit report out, as soon as they graduate from college.
Well, yeah, and it's when young people are most vulnerable, and it seems as though the loans are being taken out without the thought of they're going to have to be repaid.
Right.
And so at the end of the day, I think that it really is an industry and as a country, the middle class shouldn't have to break itself to educate their children.
Right.
And that's affecting home ownership, and we as a country need to get that figured out.
Yeah, I agree. So in the future, if you were to give some advice to somebody 6 months from now who is going to apply for a mortgage, what would you tell them? How would you coach them to prepare for that process, which is much more difficult now than it's ever really been?
Yeah, it is. It is. Well, I think they need to be, number one, conservative in what they want to purchase, right?
Okay.
So the key today is successful home ownership, not just home ownership, but we need to have successful home ownership, and that's to make sure that the qualifying ratios are right. I think that young person buying their first house needs to prepare and understand that it's going to be more than rent. You've got some other costs associated with it. But at the end of the day, what they really need to understand is long-term, home ownership is fantastic. I think the average homeowner in America, the middle class, has a net worth of over $100,000, and a renter has a net worth of about $12,000. So home ownership is good, but it's successful home ownership that matters.
Right, and that's really kind of not biting off more than you can chew from a mortgage perspective.
Right.
For sure. Great. Well, I do appreciate your being up here and being the chairman of the MBA. We look forward to seeing you out in Vegas, right? When is that?
October 19th through the 22nd.
And you'll be inducted there?
I'll be inducted that Sunday afternoon, so that's exciting, and we appreciate all the work you guys are doing here in Michigan and the partnership between the Michigan Mortgage Lenders Association and the MBA.
Right. It really is a good partnership.
It is a great one. Thank you. Thank you, sir.